I'm Victor Randolph, and I work with KRDR, the River, Classic Hits, and Oldie Station, 105.5 FM. We offer different ad packages, especially for chamber members, nonprofit organizations, help get the word out for you. I'm also an ambassador and chair for Network for Success.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name is George Isaac. I'm director of sales for Repsco. We manufacture plastic slip sheets that located
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sangeeta Jha. I'm from San County, Walker.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Lauren Morales, and I'm with Dirt Nurses, and I'm a commercial janitorial service.
Good morning, everyone. Carlos Marquez with the Stockton Chamber of Commerce, program coordinator for two of our award-winning programs, Stockton Takes Action Against Retail Theft, and our Green Team of San Joaquin.
Good morning. I am Juan Vega. I am Assistant General Manager at Stockton East Water District.
Good morning. My name is Kevin Milton. I work in Stockton with Flip Office Furnishings. We're located out in the Fort. We specialize in repurposed commercial-grade office furnishings.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Patrick McGrath with Full Focus and a brand new member, so I'm just looking forward to being able to say that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle Mercado, and I will be chamber staff. I am the membership coordinator. So if you are a member and you want to bring a little bit more about your
good morning, Chamber Culture. I'm usually here representing offices detailing, but today I'm here representing
Morning, Frank Farrell, Chief Policy Officer here at Chief.
Morning, Sana with Petting Staffing. We provide staffing services all Black Central.
Hi, my name is Anthony. It's my wife Maria. We're the owners of Electric Bike and Stockton. We sell service and repair electric scooters, bikes, skateboards.
Good morning, I'm Bob Adams. I'm with the California Office of the Small Business Advocate. I'm the Central Valley Engagement Specialist. We help businesses start, manage, and scale.
Carlos, would anyone on Zoom would like to introduce themselves?
Yeah, if we can have our Zoom participants introduce themselves. Marsha.
Good morning, Marsha Salisbury with Dazzling Cleaning Service. We do janitorial and residential cleaning.
Thank you, Marsha.
Danielle.
Danielle.
Hi, I'm Danielle Ligorio, and I am with SJ Cog.
Nice. I can't read that well.
Kirk.
Morning, everyone. I'm Kirk Oatman with I'm in Control. We've got a system that'll reduce the energy usage in your small and mid-sized commercial building by 20%. And I apologize, I really can't hear anybody very well with the current microphone. Have a good meeting.
Thank you. We will speak louder. All right. What? I'm just being polite. I'm gonna be okay. I hate chat. All right. So today we're going to hear from Juan Vega from Stockton East Water District. So let's just jump right into it.
We apologize for the switch, the same baking switch today. We our original presenter had an emergency, could not be here. So our good partners and sponsor of the Green Team San Joaquin, one of our great sponsors, stepped up to the plate. So, all right. Thank you very much.
Always love applause. And also love last minute presentations on a Wednesday morning. Okay, so I'll try to be brief. I think I have about 20 minutes. So Stockton East Water District, for those of you that don't know, is a wholesaler of treated water. We also assess for groundwater use and surface water use for agricultural customers. But we are, in essence, the main provider of drinking water to the greater city of Stockton. From 1991 to 2011, Stockton East provided roughly 66% of the city's drinking water. Since then, and after the the city of Stockton built their Delta Water facility, Stockton East still provides about 56% of that drinking water. We have two master plans that we've embarked on. One of them is the drinking water treatment plant master plan. It is an older facility. It was built in 1976. For decades, we enjoyed the newness of new equipment, and so we had kind of like a period where we were just cruising along. Now, however, after almost 50 years of operation, we have a lot of things in the pipeline, not only for repair and replacement, but also for improvements, looking ahead to the demands of the city of Stockton, as well as improve water quality, as well as regulation, which is always present in the state of California, especially. So the first one that we'll go through is this master plan. It is being worked on in conjunction with Stantec, that's the consultant. So we'll try to be as brief as possible, and if there's any questions, please let me know at the end. So there's 5 elements to the presentation: the master plan, how the treatment plant process was evaluated, the capacities of the treatment plant currently, and what we expect it to be hopefully in the near future, demand analysis for water, again, within the city of Stockton, as well as for agricultural customers in a side way in this case, and then the expansion and upgrade alternatives, as already mentioned. I can't go forward. Oh, there it is. Okay. So the purpose is to look at the treatment plant holistically and come up with a 50-year plan with a 20-year CIP. So the plan is to improve the facilities or replace aging infrastructure within a 50-year span, but we're going to be a little more granular in the 20-year time frame and come up with actually some numbers for budgeting purposes and also for fiscal planning. So the approaches were to manage, optimize, and sustain all water sources. Obviously, it's very important in California, especially during drought years. To operate, maintain, and modernize processes and facilities. Again, this is an ancient facility, so that's very important. What is it that we are going to do now? We are, again, going to look at all the original components, a lot of them, including some of the very expensive ones, which is the power side of things, and some of the filters and the what's called the sediment, the flocculation infrastructure is fairly old, so that needs to be replaced, I think, in the near future. The challenges, as always, are, again, regulation, water sources, quantity and quality, and the expectations from our customers, which are, as a wholesaler, the city of Stockton and Cal Water. So we are a wholesaler. We treat the water and we send it to those two main entities, a little bit to the county of San Joaquin, and then they're the ones that distribute it along their distribution system. So they're the front-facing portion of drinking water. We're the back end. And so the last two bullet points, there are land use changes and building codes. All right, the next one. Okay, so this chart shows on a year-by-year basis kind of what we've seen historically as far as average demand. So as you can see there, prior to 2013, we had a lot more demand because the city had not built their plan at that point in time. But recently, especially with some of the issues with tugboats and whatnot in the Delta, our demand has kicked up. Obviously, there's been more development within the city of Stockton, which also has driven demand up significantly in the last few years. Okay, so this is process evaluation. So we have two sources of water that go to the treatment plant. One is New Hogan Dam, and the other one is New Melones Dam. New Hogan is rain-fed, while New Melones is snow-fed. Snow-fed is always a better source of water, and as such, it has less turbidity and less organics. But when we do go to New Hogan Dam, we do have some concerns from time to time with a lot of organic compounds in the water, and there's been historical issues with taste and odor. Now, taste and odor issues are not noxious to health, but whenever anybody has anything in their water that is unpleasant, then you tend to have concern and the public tends to panic a little bit. So we try to eliminate those, even though they're not any health hazards whatsoever. So in order to combat some of those challenges, the master plan is evaluating new flocculation and sedimentation basins, which perform better to eliminate some of those organic compounds and turbidity. Granular activated carbon is used for taste and odor control, and so the district has implemented some fairly frequent changing out of that granular carbon. We do it right now every year in two intervals. So we do it at the very beginning of our change out for the previous year, and do it then again 2 months later to make sure that we kind of have fresh carbon to address those issues. As far as process capacity, so the treatment plant is rated for 65 million gallons per day. For flocculation, we are actually a little bit above what the treatment plant is rated for, but we are a little bit behind when it comes to filtration and sedimentation, which are the other two processes when we treat water. So this master plan is aiming to, again, modernize our facilities to make sure that what we're actually rated is something that we can actually produce. So I'll skip kind of through these. These are kind of just the options to get us to that point. And then this specific graph is graphical depiction of how we deliver water to the city of Stockton. As you can see, we deliver to Cal Water, to the north side of Stockton, and to the south side of Stockton. The south side of Stockton is served a lot by the Delta Water treatment plant that the city of Stockton owns and operates. And so as you can see, in the last several years, we've had an uptick in that demand. So we have to look to the future and make sure that our facilities are optimized for future increases in demand, which we're anticipating as well. And this is a depiction of demand by month. As you can see, and would be expected, the demand is a lot higher during the hot summer months, and it whittles wanes down during the winter months. Again, this is kind of just a couple options that we have, which is to increase plate settlers, to increase the capacity in sedimentation. We have two options. One is more expensive than the other, and we'll have to talk to our partners within the city of Stockton and Cal Water to see which direction we want to go into. But these options have been presented to those two entities and the county of San Joaquin. They're what we call the urban contractors. We have a contract with them to provide water. And so anytime we have anything major, these are going to be multi-million-dollar projects. Therefore, we try to engage them as early as possible to make sure that we get buy-in to come to a viable alternative. And then the last couple things to address is chemical storage and dewatering lagoons. So chemical storage is right now housed outside, and that was fine back in 1976. However, most modern treatment plants have a centralized enclosed building for protection from the elements and just be a little safer. So that's something that we're looking to hopefully implement in the next few years. As well as improve concrete line basins. When the dewatering lagoons, which house pretty much the remnants of treated water back in whenever the treatment plant was built, 1976, we had lined basins, but they were not concrete lined. They were, I believe, it was sand that does not allow penetration, but a desire to have concrete line basins is part of the plan because it provides additional protections from seepage. So even though we don't believe that will happen, it's better to be safe than not. And that's pretty much it for the water treatment plant master plan. Any questions? I know I kind of went kind of quick, but if there's anything.
Yes, I have a quick question. you guys have assumptions, obviously projections in the future, 5 to 10 years. Obviously, business community, we're the attraction of businesses to our community, San County or Stockton in particular. What are your projections? Because obviously water is a huge driver for economic development in our community. So what are your projections of the needs? Is it reliable? Are they doing any groundwater recharging, et cetera, and so forth?
Yeah. So actually, that part of our planning is more on the water supply side.
Right.
This is more related to water demand. So as far as the city of Stockton and Cal Water, there's not a lot of growth on the Cal Water side, but there is a lot more on the city of Stockton side. We still don't think it's going to be a lot, maybe 2 to 5% growth in the next 5-10 years. But the biggest concern, I think, is on the water supply master plan. As you'll see, actually, in the presentation, we do have a deficit that Stockton East and all the groundwater sustainability agencies in the area have to actually work together to address. Because I believe at one point in time, the agencies thought that we had a 70,000 acre foot deficiency. I think that's been refined a little bit more to be closer to 30,000 acre foot deficiency, but it's still a large amount of water when you actually start visualizing what an acre foot is. 1 acre foot is 325,851 gallons.
Is it just a follow-up question through the chair? If I, obviously the infrastructure needs, they just don't exist. You have upkeep and all that. So can you expand on that? The anticipation, what we're going to see as ratepayers here?
Yes. So Stockton East actually is already looking into possibly. One of the things that we always do is look at grants. So we've been very successful at grant writing and actually getting some grants. I think over the past 4 or 5 years, we received about $17 million worth in grants for infrastructure now. The CIP as it stands now, it's probably going to be upwards of 70 million. But what Stockton East is trying to do is apply for state revolving fund loan financing and looking at grants. Now, the state revolving fund offers, in some cases, 0% loans, which actually just allow us to take whatever amount we need for CIP and just spread it over 20 years. Obviously, it's a lot more palatable for ratepayers to be able to take that amount and spread it out over a long period of time, and hopefully with zero interest, that keeps rates down. So we haven't yet come to the point where we've analyzed rate impacts, but we're trying to minimize it. We're looking ahead to try to minimize whatever that will be.
Right. And finally, you guys have an outstanding video, right?
Yes.
Outstanding video. You guys have seen their video with Justin and Tim Quinn, our CEOs in that as well.
Yes.
Check it out. It's a good video. Yeah, you should have said a band name into it or something. So that's just me. But I think, it's a very good piece. Well done.
Thank you. And so, yeah, we have one video that is related to the habitat conservation plan, which relates to water supply. We do have one groundwater video also that kind of details our efforts to recharge and the programs that we have available to recharge water. And we're going to have a couple more videos that are in production that we'll share. And hopefully those are useful, they're informative, and get people a lot more involved in water, because one thing we've noticed, and in my many years at Stockton East, I've noticed people just turn on the water and they go, oh, there it is. And then they don't think about all that goes behind actually getting that water there, the challenges and the work that has to be done to get that water there.
Yeah, it's like the lights you take for granted.
Yes.
Just take for granted.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so this is the water supply master plan, and this is in conjunction with GEI. This looks more at the 2 water sources that I mentioned before, so the New Melones conveyance and the New Hogan conveyance. So New Hogan conveyance system is our more secure source, even though for drinking water, it is the most challenging to treat. But we've had supply available, full supply available in I believe all but 1 year in the 11 years that I've worked at Stockton East Water District. For New Melones, that is a little bit more unsure. I think about every 5 years there's no allocation from New Melones dam, and so we have to always plan for drought possibilities, especially because that's the source of water that we do use always when it's available for drinking water. But let's get into the details a little bit more. So again, we're looking at modernization of the distribution system. We're looking at maintaining agricultural within the area and making it so that it's not overly costly for those ratepayers to continue to farm and contribute to the economy and still address all the issues that we need to address within the water supply systems. So regulatory challenges are a big part of it. The habitat conservation plan is a big deal. I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's a complex subject, but in essence, we have to meet certain conservation requirements along the Calaveras River, which is the new Hogan side of things. Otherwise, we risk losing that very secure source of water for the city of Stockton and for the area as a whole. Groundwater sustainability, so SIGMA, another very complex subject. It's a regulation by the state that every GSA groundwater sustainability agency must meet sustainability by 2040, or else the state will come in and pretty much take over the basin and can pose very heavy fines for not only the GSAs, but obviously the ratepayers over long periods of time. So regulation is a big deal in this side of things. So the existing state of the district, we'll go over some of the high points. So we have 250 surface water users and about 1,900 groundwater users. Now these are accounts, not necessarily users. Some of the accounts will be the same user, but this is the easiest way that we can kind of parse out the data from our database. We have 57,000 acres of cropped land, 170,000 acre feet applied water demand. So that's both surface and groundwater. We provide 25,600 acre feet of surface water on a yearly basis. And of that, 23,000 acres are irrigated with that water. We have 105 miles roughly of natural channels, 17.5 miles of unlined canal, 25 miles of pipeline, 38 check dams, and 184 active turnouts, and those are diversions for surface water. So most land in the district is permanent crops, so trees, and as such, the demand is relatively constant. We have kind of what we have at this point in time, and unless there's land that is put into use or taken away from use, then that's the only thing that changes. So the objective is to increase surface water use, particularly in the wetter years. A lot of times in the really wet years, we'll have an excess of supply, and we just don't have a lot of people that can or have historically used it. There's some people that can use it, and for whatever reason are not. There's some concerns by them, and so the district's mission has long been to increase surface water use. So this is kind of speaking to that constant. As far as acres, it has gone up a little bit, but the percent of permanent crops is pretty steady around 90%. Mostly walnuts, cherries, that kind of thing. Skip over that. So as part of this master plan, the consultant looked at cross sections spanning north and south and east and west to kind of get an idea of groundwater levels within our district. So you'll see this graphically, and I can't read. I believe this is the I think this is the north and south. No, it's the east and west. So as we head east, you can see the bigger the gap between the lines, the more use there is in that area, and the more that we encourage surface water to bridge that gap. The dotted line is actually the desired level that we have. The very top line is actually ground, the surface ground. So you see the big gap between that and the green and the black line. That's a big gap that's on the east, and the rest of the GSAs don't want to address. So we have a deficit. That's something that we do know and we have to address. So that is, again, the further it goes east, the bigger the gap is as we start to hit west, obviously closer to the delta, and we have less deficit. The next cross section goes from south to north. And so as we get north, the same thing happens. It's a big gap between what the desired amount of groundwater is and where we are currently. And the surface is really up high there. So, as mentioned, what we want to address is recharge. So there's two types of recharge. One is in lieu, which is in essence having users use surface water instead of groundwater. In order to do that, we have to entice our growers on the coastal side to use surface water when available. We are trying to implement our incentive programs where we actually help them with permitting, which is very costly and very time-consuming and very technical. So we do have engineers that have worked with the permitting agencies to get them through that process. Try to help them with some of the very costly infrastructure that goes into also making the turnouts available. And then expand the distribution system to make sure that we have more access, more reach to some of the growers and entice them to use recharge of supplies. Then the other one is direct recharge, which is just a term that is now, I think, very common, flood mark, which is flood managed aquifer recharge. That also includes actually dry wells and recharge basins, which means that we'll just find hopefully fields partner with a customer and flood the fields when possible. There's tile drains, which we can use actually when they're actually going to crops. It doesn't affect certain crops negatively, and we can recharge while they still get water for the crops, and hopefully provide an incentive for them as well. And that all ties into the conservation plan, and which again requires a lot of infrastructure investments on our end to make sure that we protect species along the Caldera River to secure and make sure that our water supply from Ecogan is safe for future generations.
We have questions right here. Oh, yeah. So when you, on the note of surface water, are you saying they help them capture water to use it? Or what is surface water?
Okay, so surface water is, in essence, any water captured in the dam. So we have the Ecogan Dam.
What about rainwater?
Rainwater as well, but I mean, usually rainwater runs off. Because you either run along the surface and go down to the ocean, or it cheats.
So I guess that's I'm gonna have a bunch of farm buildings and they always complain about maybe it's not cost effective or efficient, but like capturing water from reservoirs, stuff like that. Is that?
That's one of the challenges actually, especially in California, because there's a lot of red tape in getting reservoirs built.
Okay, because they say they haven't built one since.
Correct. I don't know if you've heard of Size Reservoir, but that reservoir has been planned and a lot of actions have been taken to get it built. But even then, with all that funding and the support, it's been difficult to get it built. I think it's been planned for over 5 years, and I think nothing actually is happening. Wow. I think it's close.
One, we got about 2 minutes before our Zoom times out. So if you can kind of.
Yep. I'm done actually. This will be it. As you can see.
Hey, that's key. Let's get about one. Pick one, and if we we have your contact information, we maybe follow up with you.
Yeah.
You get that to Carlos, Carlos will get it out to the group. Carlos down. Right, Mr. Chair.
You said it perfect, Frank. All right, next we have subcommittee reports. Carlos or Frank?
Sure, I give an update on a few things, Carlos, do you mind? Yeah, the recycling market development zone, it's live and kicking, and that's all everybody knows, the RMDZ is about. Okay, so one under 1989, the California Integrated Waste Management Board, before the Cal Recycle, developed 40 zones throughout the state of California. And these zones basically, offer low interest loans, up to $2 million to introduce recycled feedstock in the manufacturing of recycled content. You're a perfect example of it, right? Not you, but your product. Products made out of recycled content feedstock. That stuff that used to go to landfill, now it's put back into a product that we consume as consumers. So that's going on very well. We're out there, it's a countywide program. So if you know big companies out there that could potentially, like plastic extruders, from rubber manufacturers, or ones that they call it glass, not high end priority list, but cardboard, manufacturing of a cardboard product, let us know, because we're more than happy to visit them and let them know, how to do it on our RMC program. Carlos is out there getting companies green certified. So if your company has not been green certified, it's very simple. It's very simple. In our county, we're the authority on it. So you're not certified, it's your chamber that tells you you're certified. So check in Carlos. Carlos will execute a visit to you, and so we get you all green certified. It's all online, it's just uploading the pictures, proof, and then we can go there and put that certification right next to your chamber plaque, threshold of your walk in. And it's a seal, it's a seal of if you're doing everything you can to reduce your cost of business and reduce your cost through environmental stewardship. Right? You're one too.
Exactly. I just kind of wanted to piggyback on what you just said. I was fortunate enough to work with the chamber and get our small business certified as being green certified. It's helped us immensely as far as being recognized for what we do and the effect that we're having on the